One of my favorite teachers once told me that if you are always prepared, there's no need to stress about getting ready. Welcome to your daily dose of Euclidean Geometry. Let's make Euclidean Geometry our playground, guys. So, welcome my level 7 pioneers once again. Let's look at this exam problem. So, remember our 3 golden rule. We are going to read and understand our statement. That's our first rule. And if there's anything that is in our statement that's not on our diagram, we are going to add it. Our second step, we are going to analyze the diagram. And then lastly, we are going to attempt to answer the questions, right? So don't try to pick on the question because they are going to stress you. Right, let's read the statement. They are saying in the diagram below, two circles intersect one another at D and B. AB is a straight line such that it intersects the circle BCD at point E. BC is a straight line such that it intersects the circle ABD at F. DE, DB, and DF are joined. Angle F2 is given as 180 minus by 2x. FC is equals to FD. So already we can see that there is some information that is not included on our diagram. So for an example, we have angle F2, which we are given as 180 degrees minus by 2x, right? And then another thing that we are being given is that FD is equals to FC, right? So before we even start analyzing, there's this thing that I want to draw your attention on. If we can look at this quadrilateral, we can see that we are having a cyclic quadrilateral on our hands, right? And then we know the properties of a cyclic quadrilateral. If you don't know them, I'm going to link a video on your screen right now where you can recap and come back again so that we can kill this question, right? Yeah, I'll wait for you. Okay, so let's carry on. We have a cyclic quadrilateral. How do we see that it is a cyclic quadrilateral? Because it's a four-sided shape that fits perfectly on our circle, meaning that they are vertices, actually, they are on our circumference, right? So let's go to our next observation. Our next observation that I want to draw your attention on is another cyclic quadrilateral. This one is a cyclic quadrilateral to the larger circle, right? So we have two cyclic quadrilaterals and that makes our job easier, right? And then another thing that we need to take a note of is that we are being given that FC is equals to FD. And if we can look at this triangle, I can hear one of my level 7 pioneers out there is saying we are having a special type of a triangle. It is an isosceles triangle. What are the properties of an isosceles triangle? Is that if you are having two sides that are equal like this, it tells you that I'm having an isosceles triangle. And then we can confidently conclude that these two base angles are what? Are equal, right? So knowing that, we can simply just try to tackle this question. So we know here we are having angle C, is equals to angle D4. And then automatically we know that we are having a cyclic quadrilateral. Let me try to highlight it again. So this is our cyclic quadrilateral to the smaller circle. And we know the properties of a cyclic quadrilateral. Opposite interior angles are supplementary, meaning when you are going to add angle E1 plus angle C, you are going to get 180 degrees. What else do we know about the angles of an cyclic quadrilateral? We know that if we are having this angle is going to be equals to angle E2, right? Your reasoning, you are going to say the exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is always equals to the opposite interior angle, right? So what else can we note? Since we have noted that we are having a cyclic quadrilateral here, again another one, we can note that angle F2 is going to be equals to angle A, right? You are going to use the very same reasoning. You are going to say the exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is always equals to the opposite interior angle. So we know that angle A is going to be equals to 180 degrees minus by x. Right, let's start by trying to find angle C, right? So we are having we have analyzed intensively. I think that we can tackle the questions right now. So the first question is saying calculate with reason in terms of x the angle DEB, angle DEB. They want angle DEB. DEB, we can see that DEB is angle E1 actually, right? So what did we say about angle E1? We said that angle E1 is supplementary when you add it with angle C, right? So our main goal here is to find angle C. How do we go about that? We are going to use this isosceles triangle. We are going to say angle D4 is equals to angle C, right? Your reasoning, you are going to say angles opposite, I always forget this one, angles opposite equal sides, right? Because I'm used to telling the examiner that no, I know these are base angles of an isosceles triangle, but they have adopted this this reasoning, right? Okay. Since we have stated that, we can come here and say angle F2 plus angle C plus angle D4 is going to be equals to 180 degrees. Our reasoning here, we know we are going to say sum of angles in a triangle, right? And then we go to the next step. We are going to substitute our F2. We know it is 180 degrees minus pi 2x. And then C, that's what we are looking for. And we can also change D4 to C, right? Because we have already stated that D4 is equals to C. And then our equation is like this. So we know that when we are going to transpose, this 180 is going to cancel that other one. And then we know that C plus C is going to be 2C. It's the same as saying x plus x, guys. And then when we transpose this negative 2x to the other side, we are going to be getting positive 2x. And then since we are looking for C, not 2C, we are going to divide by 2 both sides. And then C is going to be equals to x, right? So now we know that here we are being given that C is x, and automatically we know that D4 is going to be x and E2 is going to be x as well. And then the question comes to, they want you to calculate angle DEB. So you can simply tell the examiner that you know that angle DEB is going to be equals to angle C minus, actually, okay, let's make this equation easier. We are going to say angle DEB plus angle C is going to be equals to 180 degrees. Your reasoning, you are going to say opposite interior angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary, right? When we are saying a supplementary, we simply mean that they add up to 180 degrees. And then we are going to be having DEB, that's what we are looking for, plus C. We know C is equals to x, 180. And then we are going to say, therefore, we know angle DEB is ultimately going to be equals to 180 minus pi x, right? So we come here to our diagram. We are going to include it on our diagram. So here we are having 180 degrees minus pi x. So if you are having any questions, my level 7 pioneers, please don't forget to post it on our comment section below. I'll make sure that I get back to you. And if this video is valuable to you so far, please comment below and say level 7 pioneers, right? So, and that will show me that you are getting some value from these lessons that I'm making, right? And if you are having any question, as I've stated before, please hit me up. Right. All right, let's go to our next question. They are saying calculate in terms of x angle A. Where's angle A? Ah, is that one, guys? How many marks? Is 2 marks. Easy stuff, easy stuff. They simply want a reason here. So you are going to say angle A. You're going to say angle A. You know that angle A is going to be equals to angle F2, right? Your reasoning, you're going to say the exterior angle is always equals to opposite interior angle of a cyclic quad. The English here is Englishing, guys. The exterior angle, or you can simply say it is an exterior angle of a cyclic quad. So they must give you those marks. So you can say, therefore, angle A, you know angle A is going to be equals to 180 degrees minus pi 2x. What I want you to note, guys, is that if you start by analyzing the diagram without looking at the questions, they automatically just become simple when you try to tackle them, right? So please, let's follow our 3-step golden guide. So let's go to our next question. Our next question, which is our last question, 3 marks. They are saying hence or otherwise prove ED is parallel to BC, right? What is important, guys, is for you to come to your diagram and take a note which lines they want you to prove that they are parallel, right? Where is ED? ED is here. They are saying ED, you must prove that it is parallel to BC, right? So let's remember, when we are talking about parallel lines, what do we talk about? If it's possible, I'm going to link it on our screen right now so that you can get that full knowledge on what they mean when they say 2 lines are parallel. So we know, guys, parallel lines are fun, meaning that here this angle is going to be equals to this angle, given that these 2 sides are parallel. So here you are going to be having corresponding angles, right? Here these two angles, they must be supplementary, meaning that they must add up to 180 degrees. Your reasoning, you're going to say co-interior angles, right? And then here you are going to be given something that looks like an N or a Z. So these 2 angles are going to be equal. Your reasoning, you're going to say alternating angles. So we only need these 3 one of these 3 situations on our diagram below, right? So what do I mean? What do I mean is that if we can prove that angle D1 is equals to, for an example, is equals to angle C, that means we have proven that these 2 lines are parallel, because we are going to be having an F shaped like this, and then we are going to say corresponding angles, right? So let's try to do that one. So how do we go about finding D1? We can clearly take a note at this triangle. So looking at it, we are not having a special type of a triangle, right? We need to prove that. How do we go about that? You are going to tell the examiner that you know angle C is equals to angle E2, right? Because the examiner doesn't have what? Your analyzed diagram. So angle C, we know angle C is equals to X. And then you are going to tell the examiner that you know it is an exterior angle of a cyclic quadrilateral, isn't it? And then we go to our next part, which is finding D1. You are going to tell the examiner that you are going to add angle A plus angle E2 plus angle D1. That's what we are looking for, isn't it? So they must give us 180 degrees. Your reasoning, you are going to say sum of angles in a triangle, right? And then we go to our next step. We are going to simply substitute. So 180 degrees minus 2x, that is what A is. And then we have E2, which is equals to X. And then we have D1, that's what we are looking for, equals to 180 degrees. So we know, guys, that if we transpose this 180 is going to cancel that other one. So here we are going to be having negative 2x plus x. That's the same as saying 2 minus 1. So we are going to be getting negative x. plus d1 is equals to 0, and then we know that d1 is equals to x, and then we can simply conclude that therefore we know that angle d1 is equals to what? Is equals to c. Your reasoning, you are going to say it's proven, right? We have proven it, isn't it? And then we can say that therefore we know that the line ED is parallel to the line BC, right? And then your reasoning, you are going to say converse, right? Converse is something that they teach from grade 11, right? So we know that we are having a theorem 1. If you can remember, theorem 1 has its converse, right? Meaning that it's the opposite I'm trying to explain this. It's the opposite from the original theorem, right? Let's say you are being given that actually, let me not make this this video longer than it's supposed to be. I'm going to post the link of the converse and the straight theorem on the description box below, right? So please consult there. You can see that what is the significance of mentioning that it is a converse, right? So we are going to say converse corresponding angles. And then you take all of your marks, guys. So if you are having any question, please post them on our comment section below. And if this information was valuable to you, comment down below and say level 7 pioneers. So let's go to our next daily dose of Euclidean Geometry, guys. Cheers.